WPTV First Alert Weather on WSTU is brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Code Red Roofers cares and calls you back. Shows up and finishes on time. 287-2829. Code Red Roofers, the roofers who respond. Now here's the First Alert meteorologist.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast this afternoon. Highs in the low 80s, mostly sunny and dry with no rain expected. Tomorrow, another nice warm day in store with highs in the low 80s. Plenty of sunshine. Thursday and Friday, morning lows in the mid-60s and afternoon highs in the mid-80s. We could even see near record heat to end out the work week. That humidity increases as well, and only a slim chance for an isolated shower through the weekend forecast. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this fabulous Tuesday morning. It's December 28th, and this is our last show of 2021. I'm your host, Gary Owen.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier.
And we are bringing you live this hot, red, exciting radio show we call the Quality of Life Radio Show, and proudly sponsored by Aetna and Cigna Medicare. And by the way, if you're driving, you can catch us on WSTU 1450 AM and WPSL 1590 AM. Or if you have this little contraption called an iPhone or any cell phone, you can catch us on Facebook Live at the Quality of Life Radio Show. And Tom, we're here every blessed Tuesday morning.
We love to be here every Tuesday morning. And Gary, we come here for three reasons. Number one, we bring relevant content to our listeners. That's information people can really use in their life. Number two, we love this portion of our show to showcase and support local business owners, nonprofit organizations, wonderful people. Our guests will be introduced here in a moment. And number three, Gary and I, we love to educate and bring information to people about insurance planning solutions that would help improve our listeners' quality of life. And thus the name of the show, the Quality of Life Radio Show.
Love it. Couldn't say any better myself. And by the way, you know, Tom and I and our agents across the state of Florida and the country, we deal with solutions, and we provide solutions to problems, because obviously we know that insurance is confusing, it's complicated, it's convoluted, and if you have problems or have questions related to health, life, Medicare insurance, long-term care, we do it. We have the answers. We just had a client call this morning and just thanked me profusely for helping him with his Medicare because of all the scams that are going on. He got caught in a little scam there in Mississippi where he lives. He called us. We were able to help him and save the day. So, you know, I always say to our clients, we're not secret agents. We're superheroes. And let us be your superhero.
That's right.
And, you know, and plus, too, Tom and I, we like to just simplify insurance planning. I mean, just make sure that you work with an agency who's independent, like Owen Insurance Group. Work with an independent agent who will help be your guide on your Medicare journey, or your life insurance journey, or health insurance journey, or long-term care, or disability, whatever it is that you need. We're here to help you out. This morning, we're very happy and excited to have a guest on our show, probably the youngest guest we've ever had on our show.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
we have Mariuxi Baez, and she's starting a nonprofit organization. I'm so excited to hear about
Yes,
this.
this is great.
Called Hope Suicide Prevention. Good morning, Mariuxi. How are you?
Good morning. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me on the show. This feels so surreal, you know. I feel like I've waited for this opportunity for so long. Thank you for having me. It's just such a blessing. Thank you.
Absolutely great to have you, and you've got like a fanfare following you this morning.
Whoa, that's right.
Thank you. A lot of family supporters, a lot of friend supporters. I can't be more happy, more grateful. I feel so happy.
Fantastic. We're gonna ask her some very poignant questions and what brought her here to this and what gave her the vision to do this. And hang tight too. Later on in the show, we're going to share with you some fun health facts. This day in history. What happened this day in history?
And
December
no Googling
28th.
out there.
By the way, I hope everybody had a phenomenal Christmas, by the way. And happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. And for those of you that are going to be celebrating on December 31st, New Year's Eve, be safe and enjoy your New Year's. Hopefully we'll have a better 22. We said this back in 2020, 2021. We hope we have a better New Year, and I think it's getting better, but it's getting more complicated. It seems like each year goes by.
It does seem like the world is getting more complicated, and I'm just so thankful and grateful that we're still here and prospering and thriving, and our business is growing. We're helping a lot of people out there.
Yes, we are, Tom. I'm excited about the direction.
I think with so much going on in the world, a lot of people do look to people who understand and know insurance because there's so many voices are screaming at them, making
Absolutely.
And I think some people, agents, tend to think, if I can baffle them with my wisdom and make it sound so convoluted, they'll think I'm a genius. But a genius is someone who can take the complicated and make it simple.
Absolutely.
What you were saying earlier.
Very well
Gary.
said.
Yeah.
And then also later on in the show, we're gonna for those of you out there who have health insurance, or maybe are looking to get health insurance. Listen, man. We're women.
Come on, man.
This is going to be exciting because we're with the help of Kimberly in my office, we were able to pull up some quotes for different age groups and demographics, and like a 25-year-old male, a 40-year-old female, a family of 4, a 62-year-old, and all of these people can qualify, Tom, for a $0 premium. $0 premium. So we're going to share with you some information about that. Because, again, it's about Insurance Straight Talk, getting you the information that you need to know, getting down nitty-gritty. So we're going to do the quote of the day, and then we're going to head over to Mariuxi and see what she has in store for us today.
We're excited.
So the quote of the day, I think this is probably good for all of us. I mean, it's certainly good for me, and I believe it's probably good for every single one of us listening and watching live on Facebook. And thanks for those of you that are watching live on Facebook as well. Appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for your loyalty. And thank you to all of our clients that are supporting us and watching us. We appreciate you too. The quote of the day today, never be a prisoner of your past. It was just a lesson, not a life sentence.
That's nice.
Powerful.
That is.
Powerful. So, Mariuxi, can you share with our listening audience, do you feel comfortable in sharing your age?
Yeah, I'm 20 years old.
Bless your little heart.
Woo!
You're younger than my daughter.
Gosh. Awesome.
Love it. So 20 years old, Mariuxi had a vision. Something occurred in her life that compelled her to start this Hope Suicide Prevention. So talk to us about that. Walk us through that.
Just being completely transparent. There's a lot of teenagers, young adults, even, older people who suffer with depression, anxiety, just mental illnesses. And me in my life, I've struggled with that too. And I felt as though, those phone calls that you give, those people who I need to call someone right now. That's not enough. So I created this event to have people from, residents in Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce, anywhere to come together and to share love, to share support with whatever you're going through. They share their mental illness through their art form, whether it's singing, dancing, speaking, talking. I let them be open to whatever they feel most comfortable with, and they feel free, they feel loved because they know that people around them aren't going to judge them. They know that, okay, this is a place I can feel safe, and not worry about how people are going to look at me if I have depression, if I have anxiety. I have also therapists go there just in case if they need an expert to talk to. I give out, cards that about businesses that also help them. I just felt like it was something that was needed in my community, and it's growing every year, getting bigger, and I'm just so thankful to the people who come out and share their story and share what they've been through, because it also helps other people as well to know, okay, if she's or he's gone through that, I can get past that too. Just as you said with the quote, my past, I'm not a prisoner of my past, People think that just because you have this mental illness, it can hold you from doing so many things that you want to do, and I'm trying to get the word out. You're not a prisoner of this mental illness. You can escape whatever's holding you back. You can be free, and I'm trying to teach these people how to do that.
You are such an inspiration.
Wow.
Thank you.
Future president of the United States here. I'm going to get your autograph today.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mariuxi, what are you? Do you have a specific age group that you are catering to, that you talk to, or can anybody talk to you, or go and get some counsel?
Anyone is willing to talk. I'm willing, open to anyone. I had kids ages 6 come talk to me. I had a mother come talk to me, and I'm not going to say I'm the best advice giver, but if I can't find an answer, we'll look for it together. I'll help you, guide you to the right answer. I'm not all knowing. I'm not going to have everything. So let's look for it together. Teamwork. I
love it. It's kind of like what we talk about, Tom. I mean, don't take the road alone.
Exactly.
You don't have to take the road alone, So you've got people like Tom and Gary Owen that will help you on your insurance journey. And then you've got people like Mariuxi Baez who will help you on your mental illness journey, and there's, it's in my family too. And to your point, there's no age limitation and who it strikes and how and why. We don't have those answers, but it happens.
It does.
And to have people there to talk to, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's just, it just feels so empowering to know that people are open to talk to it, and people are willing to share their story. And as I said before, I've heard stories from 5 years old to older people, and so I've heard ridiculous comments like, how can you have depression? Why are you so sad? Depression is just not sadness. There's so many elements that come in it that people who don't know about it, that have received, that diagnosis, they don't know where to go. They don't know who to talk to, and sometimes not even therapists can help. There's other resources, and that's also what I'm trying to do, help you get other resources if you don't feel comfortable talking to someone about it.
Yeah, and you'd mentioned nowhere to go. I know that there are people that go all over the state from here in our county, in our community, travel from one place to another, trying to seek help and not getting it, not getting the result that they hope for, and trying to, grabbing out, and holding out a lifeline to say, hey, I need help, and trying to find that. So I think the message is loud and clear. Don't shy away from that. Don't be ashamed of it. Open your mouth and talk to somebody. Open your arms and embrace somebody, and that's what you're there for.
Yes, of course. I'm very open to anyone, anything, and I try to let them also, besides getting them information, I try to teach them how to understand the signs, how a mother or father can understand, okay, my teen has is going through something. What can I do to help them? Because I've heard a lot of stories where the family members or even friends, they don't know what to do until it's too late.
That's true.
And it's so sad because I feel like we lack love and we lack the people to help people who really need help. Why can't we just gather together and work for this together? Why does it have to be depression? Why does it have to be anxiety? Why can't it just be, let's just not give it a label. Let's just work together and not and stop trying to find an excuse, because we need to love each other. We need to help each other, and as I said before, you never know what anybody's going until you know the signs. Okay, my child is doing this and this, so I know this is a sign. How can I help? Okay, it's time to put my pride aside and help my friend, my brother, my sister, my uncle, my niece, Just recognize the signs and know what to do next.
From the mouth of babes. Absolutely amazing. I love it. We're going to go on our first break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you about what's going on in this TikTok craziness. All right? I mean, I think you probably know where I'm going to go with this, but I want to ask you, what the heck is going on with this generation of TikTokers? But anyway, you're listening to the Red Hot Live Quality of Life radio show on WSTU 1450 AM. America's Heritage Station, and WPSL 1590 AM. And also you can catch us live on Facebook Live at the Quality of Life Radio Show. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Welcome back to the Quality of Life Radio Show. We are live in downtown Stewart, Florida, where the sun is shining, the birds are singing, the skies are blue. If you're in another state and not experiencing that, shame on you. No, actually, you stay there. We're okay. We have enough people here in Florida. I think we got like 1,000 a day moving in. On today's show guest, we have Mariuxi Baez, and she is a beautiful, young, passionate, talented, 20-year-old young lady who's looking to change the world and affect the lives of so many with mental illness. She's starting her own nonprofit called Hope Suicide Prevention. So welcome back with us, Mariuxi, and thank you so much for your words of wisdom and your passion. It's amazing. You're bringing tears to my eyes, actually.
I didn't mean to.
Shame
I'm sorry.
on you for doing that, but you're touching my heart. I love it. So before we went on a break, I was going to ask you about TikTok. I just saw something on the news. I don't have TikTok. I don't TikTok. I don't talk Tik. But I saw on the news yesterday where these young kids, millennials and your generation, I guess, are self-diagnosing with themselves with mental illness. What the heck's going on?
I just recently got into TikTok. Okay, I don't know I'm just as,
Befuddled?
I'm in the, yes, as you, I feel you can't, at some terms, there's some points where you can diagnose yourself, but I feel like if you feel like you're diagnosed, if you have an illness, that's where you need to go to help. You can't just say, I have depression and not do anything about it. That's like putting yourself in such an awkward situation. Like you're announcing to the world, I have something, something so big, but you're just going to sit there and not do anything. That just baffles me, So I feel like if you feel you have something like that, you need to find help. Not finding help is killing yourself.
So that might be another avenue for you, is utilizing your message on TikTok as well as Instagram and whatever. I know that you don't have a website yet, but there are people out there probably listening in and watching and it's like, my gosh, man, I need to talk to this young lady. I need to get some words of wisdom or just, talk to her about her experience and how I can relate and how we can help. So how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me through my number or my email, 772-204-1515, or they can go to my email, marybaez370@gmail.com. That's MARYBAEZ 370@gmail.com. Come talk to me anytime. I'm open. Let's be friends. Let's communicate,
And you also have a handle on, is it not LinkedIn, but Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram, yes.
All right.
Instagram, you can go to Mariuxi_923. That's MARIUXI_923.
All right. So there you have it. And so before we say goodbye, any final words of wisdom or thoughts? And I'm going to ask Tom because I know Tom may have a question for you, but any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you can convey today that could help change the thought process and the life of someone who needs help?
Keep going, whether even if you feel like you can't, just keep going. Even if you are limping, keep going. If you are crawling, keep going. No matter what you are doing, don't stop. Because that moment you stop, you put a setback on yourself. You do not want to do that. You are moving backward. We want to move forward together. Do not give up. Whatever you do, do not give up. There's always hope somewhere. And even if you can't find hope or find a smile, just fake it. I promise you, if you fake it, eventually that smile will be real.
You believe it, right? You just believe it. I mean, and then it's going to happen. I love your messaging. You've got to get out there and multiply yourself, get the word out, and it's amazing. I think you're going to transform so many lives.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited for you. Tom, what do you think?
I'm amazed. I'm blown away. I'm excited, and as you're saying, it just emotions are rising up because so many people. I believe all of us listening. I'm sure everyone in this room here has been affected one way or the other by people who've taken their own lives, and they had no hope. They didn't want to keep going, and some of them were just suffering in silence. And that's the biggest thing, is that people don't want to come forward. And Gary and I, we deal with a lot of the senior market, of course, with Medicare and such, and that market, that age group as well is highly prone to depression and sadness, and of course, I'm sure even the brain begins to shrink, and there's a lot of mental issues because of that as well. But I just wanted to ask one question: what really got you involved in this? I mean, what did you wake up one morning, or you knew somebody, or what happened?
Besides having my own experience with depression, I felt like there needed to be something in the community where people gather together and share their story. I didn't see that personally growing up. I felt like I couldn't talk to someone, but singing and just through my arts, that helped me. So I wanted people to be able to express themselves the way they feel most comfortable in. And, I have guest speakers, I have therapists, counselors come in, I have dancers, singers, and, most of the people who come truly are the older generation. I have teens, but most of the people are of the older generation, older, people. And it just feels so good to know that they're sitting there and they're listening and they're open to new suggestions, So just knowing that everybody's willing to share and being there and being part of it and eating afterward and talking is just so great.
And when and where do you guys meet?
We actually have a new event coming up January the 8th. We are meeting at 1885 Southwest Del Rio Boulevard at 4 p.m. So last time it was the Boys and Girls Club. I like to do it with the teens mostly, but anyone is welcome.
Excellent.
That's fantastic. So I would say it's Mariuxi's message of hope. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love you. I love your message. I love
you.
You know what you're doing. It's absolutely amazing, and it's refreshing to see a young lady like yourself caring so much about other people. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. We're going to get you on Fox and CNN and all these other networks, man. That's awesome.
Just give me a date. I'll be there.
I love it. I love it. Looks like Mom and Dad's got a lot of traveling and packing to do soon.
And are you starting are you going to create a nonprofit organization where people can help contribute and
that is the
help
plan.
You in your vision? Okay,
that
great.
I'm starting with a vision, and from there it's building. I heard a quote from Mark Zuckerberg. He said, a dream is blurry at first, but you keep continuing and it gets more clear. So I always like to start with the vision first. If I have nothing, I just start with the vision.
Nice. And what other, and as we close with you, I mean, there's something else that you do. What else do you do? I know you don't do this full time.
I have a cosmetics business as well. It sort of centers around the suicide prevention. I like to give a percentage to my suicide prevention event, and then I give a percentage to other organizations. So I'm not only profiting from it, I'm giving to other organizations and putting it to my future of the Hope suicide event as well.
So what's the website? There's a lot of pretty girls and all kinds of beautiful women and even pretty boys like Tom who need makeup. So what's the website? What's the website they can go to on that?
They can actually go. I have a link on my Instagram, as I said before. The link to my Instagram, my Instagram name is lightmoon_cosmetics. So it's LIGHTMOON_cosmetics.
All right, fantastic. And then give your email address and your phone number one more time for our listening audience.
My phone number is 772-204-1515, and my email is marybaez_370@gmail.com. Mary, MaryBaez370@gmail.com.
Is it Mary Baez _ or just Mary Baez 370?
Mary Baez _
370. Okay, at gmail.com. Or your phone number is 772-204-1515. January 8th, you have an event at 4 p.m. off Del Rio in Port St. Lucie. So make sure if you'd like to go, give her a call. Get to know this dynamic, lovely woman and move on. And I love it. Keep going.
Thank you.
Keep going. That is the message of the day, the phrase of the day. Keep going. Thank you so much, Mariuxi, for being with us. We appreciate that. And then hang tight till the next commercial, and then because there's some questions I'm going to ask you too.
Of course. Thank you.
On the hot seat.
So transitioning today in history, Tom. 3 major events happened. Back in 1869, it was America's first Labor Day. You do a little teaching. Do you know history? Do you like history?
I always passed history, but I never really understood it.
History. Look, I love it. All right.
I passed.
Well, I passed too. Okay, let's see. 1895, the first commercial movie screened in Paris. And then, Tom, I don't know if you know this one. In 1958, which team won the NFL title, greatest game ever played?
Green Bay Packers.
Colts.
Oh,
it was the Colts. The Colts won the NFL title, greatest game ever played. So
Why
that's
was
December
it the
28th.
game?
That was the game that I wasn't there for.
Yes. I missed it, too.
I was way before my time. Okay, so this one's for you, Mariuxi. So, but I just want to emphasize the fact that today is December 28th. That means, Tom, we have three more days left in 2021. My question to you is, what are you going to do with them? You going to waste them? Or are you going to make them? And make them the best 3 days going out of 2021 that we can possibly do. I, for one, say, let's hit it hard. Let's do the best we can do and make the difference in someone's life. Touch someone and keep going, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here is a health fact for you, Mariuxi. See if you know guess the answer on this.
Okay.
One. I would have never guessed it, but during your lifetime, my lifetime, Tom's lifetime, Evan's lifetime, you will eat about 30 kilograms of food. That's the weight of about how many African elephants?
I'm just gonna give it my best guess. 7.
Wow! 6.
Oh, I was so close.
Ooh, look at you.
Well, they were smaller elephants. Yeah. Oh, my.
That was fantastic. Well, great guess. I love that. So, yeah, it's amazing that we eat in our lifetime the equivalent of 6 African elephants. Absolutely amazing. Makes me want to eat some plants and vegetables. Tom's like, heck no, man. I'm meat and taters, baby.
I thought we were living life these last 3 days.
That's right. 3 days.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it, is it? All right, fantastic. Okay, so, Tom, we've got some information I want to share. I promised you that next time I came on the show that I would share with you some information about a certain insurance carrier that has raised their premiums triple digits. So we're going to talk about, unfortunately, I wasn't here last week because I was getting an unexpected root canal. God knows I loved my root canal more than I love being here.
Oh.
Not really.
Yes.
That was disgusting. So we're going to share that with you in a second, and then we're going to share with you some rates of some carriers. I had Kim in my office. Kim Garcia, by the way, does all of our quoting and enrollments for ACA and health insurance, and Tom, of course, does as well in our office. But I just want to kind of give everybody an idea of what the cost. People think, gosh, it's going to be so expensive for health insurance, right, Tom? So if you're a 25-year-old male with an income of about $20,000 a year, you could own a Cigna health insurance plan with a $0 deductible for $7 a month.
That's one coffee at Starbucks for some people.
Come on. Are you serious?
Not me. I don't spend that.
I mean, that's insane. $0 deductible, a maximum out of pocket of only $2,900 for only $7 a month with Cigna. That's a game changer, right? So, and by the way, there are also plans that may have a higher deductible or higher maximum out of pocket would cost you $0 premium. A 40-year-old female, let's see, 40 independent, single 40-year-old female, income of $40,000 a year, another Cigna plan with a deductible of $8,000 for $131 a month. Again, co-pays $40 when you go to a doctor, but and co-pays for the other Cigna plan was $5 each time you go to a doctor. But then again, also that 40-year-old female could also qualify for a $0 premium. Now, if your income is less than $40,000 a year, obviously that premium would be less than $131 for that specific plan. So it's important to contact Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. Or, Tom, what's another number they could reach us?
I like this one better, but I know you're 772-210-1020.
Or 772-210-1020. A or B?
Which one do you like better?
I like them both.
I
They
love
both sound good to me.
political.
All right, we're going to bring her back on the show again, man. I mean, I tell you,
got the right
I love
answers.
it. I love it.
I'm not getting in the middle.
She's great. She's great. And then now we talk about a family of 4, 45-year-old female, 50-year-old male, and a 10 and a 6-year-old children. Now we're talking about near my age group. Now we're getting closer to my age group. Let's say the family of 4 has an income of $70,000. You could have a Cigna policy with an $8,000 deductible for $0 premium a month. So again, when I tell you that there are opportunities out there to have a comprehensive health insurance policy, again, you know, what dictates these premiums are your annual income, Also, what your deductible is and your maximum out of pocket. So there are a lot of variables, but we will get you and we will find you the most appropriate plan for you. There's another family of four that has an income of $150,000, more than double the other family of four. Same age group, 45, 50, and 10 and 6-year-old children. $150,000 annual household income. The Cigna premium for that plan would be $760 a month. Still better than what premiums have been prior to the ARPA Act of 2021 that went into effect the end of March of this year. So, and then finally, the last age demographic is 62-year-old, a household of two, income is about $50,000. She or he could have a premium of $54 a month. And again, depending on the deductible and the MOOP, could go down to $0 premium a month. So I just wanted to make sure that we share this information with you, because when we come back from our last break of today, we're going to kind of go over the carriers with you and some other scenarios. So hang tight. You're listening to the Quality of Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Gary Owen. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Gary Owen of the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Hello and welcome back to the Quality of Life Radio Show. Lucky you. Today's December 28th. You've got 3 wonderful days to make it great, to finish 2021 off spectacular. Before we went on break, we were talking about the different premiums on ACA health insurance. So, Tom and I wanted to focus on that since Medicare annual enrollment period is over. Starting January 2nd, we're going to have Medicare open enrollment begin, but we'll talk about that next week. But today we want to focus on the ACA stuff real quick and share some amazing opportunities to have affordable premiums. But Tom, from years, the Blues have had a stronghold here on the Treasure Coast, and there was no other options for health insurance plans, individual health insurance plans. Now we've got how many carriers here, Tom?
I believe there's like 6 of them,
yes,
other than the Blues. I mean, I love the Blues as it relates to music.
Yeah,
but
baby.
As far as health insurance, there's other options out there. You've got Oscar, you've got Cigna, you've got Ambetter, you've got United Healthcare, you've got Aetna, and you have Bright Health. Wonderful carrier.
Fantastic. We got 6 carriers here on the Treasure Coast that is giving the Blues the run for their money.
Yeah.
I know that they're hurting because of all these other carriers and opportunities, more affordable premiums, more diverse health plans available. You just got to make sure that we find the right network, because the doctors you go to, if you need to keep a certain or a specific doctor or a physician or primary care, or a specialist. You just want to make sure that they're on the plan, as well as the prescription drugs. You want to make sure that the formulary, that your drugs are on that plan's formulary. So again, as I said before, there are a lot of things that go into this to make sure we find you the right policy.
That's right, and that's why working with qualified, licensed, independent brokers who represent all the carriers and don't just work for one particular company is so important, because one shoe does not fit all. We do thorough needs dialogue, as Gary just mentioned, make sure your doctors are in network, medications, what benefits are important to you, and then we help find that plan and make the recommendation.
So Tom, when does the open enrollment period end for ACA?
Well, at this moment in time, it's January 15th at midnight. I know last year they kept extending it. That's yet to be seen, but January 15th. So have, 18 more days.
So guys and gals, listen, if you've been procrastinating, I mean, you're an ostrich. You look in the mirror. If you're procrastinating, you look like an ostrich. Do away with the ostrich eggs and do away with the sand. Get your head out of it, and then pick up the phone, dial 772-210-1020, and ask for Kim to give you some quotes, or Tom to give you some quotes on health insurance. And you don't need to take the road alone. We keep saying that. You don't have to travel the road alone. We got so many people here that will help and support you and find the right plan.
That's right. We're like a captain of a ship, navigating the rough waters, and they're always shifting and changing, and currents and so many things going on in the health insurance world. You need someone that has been through that road many times.
I'll be swabbing the deck.
Oh, swabbing the deck. Oh, matey. No mutinies on
cook, and I'll be swabbing.
Yeah,
all right, we have it covered. All right, so I also want to give Mariuxi an opportunity to give a shout-out, because I noticed she's got some family members watching and friends. So go ahead and give a shout-out to whoever you want to give a shout-out to.
I want to give my shout-out first and foremost to my mother and father, my biggest supporters.
And they're here right now.
Yes, they are.
Woo!
Yay,
Mom and Dad.
Y'all did great.
My family in New York, and just my friends, pastors, just thank you so much for supporting me.
That's awesome. Great. We appreciate it. And then we're going to give you one last shot before we close up here. We got about, 13 minutes to go, says Evan. And then we'll make sure that everyone has your correct email address and the phone number for you as well. So Tom and I have been in this business for a while, offering insurance planning solutions, and there are times, unfortunately, that consumers go to the wrong company to do business with, or the wrong agent, and quite frankly, the wrong company, the wrong carrier. And again, when we do insurance planning, based on our experience, our education, and what has happened and what's been transpiring in the industry, we know which carriers would be prudent for our specific clients based on their specific needs and what product or solution they're looking for. Right, Tom?
Absolutely.
So, again, it's important that you're working with an independent agency, an independent agent who is looking out for your best interest, not a career or captive agent who might represent only one company. That's a one-size-fits-all solution right there. With an independent agent, we represent all the carriers. We're most of the carriers. There are some carriers that we will not be writing for whatever specific reasons that might be. But nonetheless, I want to share with you a carrier that just notified their policy holders about a triple-digit rate increase. You talk about scary. You think it was a practical joke, actually. You thought it was a practical joke, or maybe it was a typo or some sort. But so here's a story. This was written by Bill Nemitz 21 years ago, back in 2000, and more than $70,000 ago. Linda and David Brooks had a plan. I love it when people have a plan, right? They're putting a plan together, And their plan was, with retirement on the not-too-distant horizon, they would start funneling money into their new long-term care insurance policies. In return, when age and infirmity finally caught up with them, they'd get the help they need without going broke or becoming a financial burden on their family or on their children, right? So then came the shakedown. Here we go. This letter is to notify you that we have recently filed for a 112% premium rate increase in your long-term care insurance policy, read the letter that David received from Genworth Life Insurance Company. Linda got the same notice, except Genworth said it wants to bump her premium by 146%. Nope, it was not a typo. It was not April Fool's, because this just happened a couple of months ago. What it is the company is passing the buck, or basically in this case, they're passing the bill for their own failure. So, long-term care premium rates going up triple digits in Maine. This was announced in Maine. So now, of course, there are over 4,100 folks in Maine that have got this premium increase notification. So you can imagine that the Department of Insurance is now on their heels dealing with this nonsense. So for those of you out there, and again, this may not really mean a lot to most of you, but for those of you that have a long-term care insurance policy, or for those, and more importantly, for those of you out there who are looking for information about a long-term care policy, you should be contacting an independent insurance agency that specializes in Medicare and long-term care and health insurance and life insurance, like Owen Insurance Group. So we can provide you 3 different solutions to long-term care. It doesn't have to be the traditional long-term care that you're reading about, that you're listening to me about today, but it depends, all right? There are different solutions, different strokes for different folks. So there are 3 different solutions that you could have for your own long-term care. But I'll continue reading on. Linda, who's 72, she's a retired social worker. David, her husband, worked for Motorola. They lived for 20 years in Scarborough, Maine, before moving to Florida. Of course, they'd moved to Florida in 2015. Confident that when the time came for long-term care, not covered by Medicare, by the way. I mean, look, there's a lot of people who think that I've got Medicare, I'm covered with long-term care. Ain't going to happen. So for those of you who have that belief and that concept, you're going to be shocked.
You now stand corrected.
So they're thinking that Genworth policies would fit the bill and would pay for the claims when they needed it. Instead of relying on their children for money or draining their assets and hoping that their fixed incomes might qualify them for Medicaid, no dependency whatsoever beyond the coverage Genworth promised them all those years ago. But listen, man, I don't know, Tom. I know, I think you know, that 112% and 146% rate increase is absolutely incredulous.
Absolutely. Most people are living on a fixed budget at that time in their life. They really don't have opportunity to bring in extra income. And to just continue to pay that kind of premium, 150%, almost 150% increase. So if you're paying $100, that means now you're paying $250.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to call out Genworth and say I think it's just a bit unfair. But what do I know? I've only been doing this for 15 years.
I'm picturing a bunch of people in Maine with their cows and porch fork pitches going to the home.
Well, listen, Maine is not, the only state that they're going to see this in.
Oh, my.
So,
this is just the beginning.
And when I lived in Palm City, I had a next-door neighbor. She had, it could have been the same company. I won't confirm or deny. But 2 years ago, she had a 105% rate increase with them. And she was in her 80s, mid-80s, and she was getting to the point now where she could no longer, after paying for her long-term care policy for over 25 years. Now she's in her 80s where she is starting to need it. Now she can no longer afford it. To me, I think it's highway robbery. It's almost criminal. And now that she doesn't have the money to pay for it, now she has to use a scale down. Now she has to stop paying the premiums. And what happens is whatever premiums were paid in, that's her only coverage. I mean, so to me, why don't you just put the money in a bloody sock drawer and save that money? It's basically what you're doing because the company's not doing what they need to do for what they promised you when you signed on the dotted line. But some of the issues, with these long-term care, I mean, there's a lot of flawed assumptions when they came out with long-term care about 40 years ago. Insurers thought that it could, fund future claims over the long term by investing premium payments at an annual rate of return between 6 and 8%. Well, in reality, the bonds, while that cash was stashed in, performed at less than 4%. So obviously, that was one mistake that Genworth made. Of course, it finds itself in a bigger hole now, and it's only going to grow deeper. It's going to grow wider as more claims pour in. Secondly, the insurance companies also factored in a lapse rate. They would figure, based on historical values over time, that 4 and 5% would lapse their policies, like other health insurance policies. Well, guess what? Or life insurance policies. Well, wrong again. Fewer than 1% of long-term care policyholders let their plans lapse. It's amazing. People see the value and the need for long-term care. And then third, finally, the companies miscalculated their morbidity projections. Or to be more blunt, they would die sooner. So, but Alzheimer's and other long-lasting diseases have turned those assumptions on its head. So for the 4,100 Genworth policy owners in Maine, my heart goes out to you, and hopefully the Department of Insurance there in Maine will not let that happen, and will come because right now their premiums are going to go from $5,184 to $11,868 a year. It's just absolutely crazy. So when it comes to long-term care, people, give us a call at Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020 because, Tom, we have several companies that we can use. I mean, a lot of people don't want to go to a nursing home or an assisted living facility. They want care at home. There are certain policies that only address that specific situation and circumstance that would cost far less than in most traditional long-term care policies, where you can get a sum of money to use for that expense. With our hybrid life insurance and long-term care policies as well. So, Tom, if they have questions, who do they call?
Not Ghostbusters. They want to call Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020.
All right. I guess we have 90 seconds left. So, Mariuxi, the lady with the message of hope, again, provide your email address and the phone number where people can give you a call and and seek you out.
My phone number is 772-204-1515. My email is marybaez370@gmail.com. That is MARYBAEZ370@gmail.com.
And keep going. That's the message of the day. So
every day.
Every single day. Thank you so much for being with us and being on our show today.
Thank you.
Mariuxi, you are a lovely young lady and an inspiration. So keep up the good work and the message of hope. And next week on the show, we're going to have Mitch Kell of Always Promoting on our show with us. And Tom and I, we're going to be exuberant because it's going to be January. It's a new year, 2022. We're going to have a new message, maybe a new look.
Dyeing your hair pink?
Maybe it'll be pink, you'll be purple, but nonetheless,
I like purple.
We will continue providing valuable insurance solutions. So thanks for joining us today. Remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, be happy, keep healthy, and enjoy your quality of life.